What's going on, boy? Hmm. Come on. What's up, early birds? What's going on, Josh? Ryan? Double D? How are you guys doing? Samantha, lady, how are you doing this evening? Good to see you. Been a little bit. Big T, what's going on, Thyron? Thanks for stopping in, fellas. Here comes the judge. What's going on, Jeff? How are you doing? Ryan, what are you going to have your pit bull help you with? Carlos, what's going on, buddy? Been a little bit, man. How are you doing? Big D, Power Stack, what's happening, brother? How are you doing? Turk, thanks for stopping in, man. That is a new name on the in the chat. We appreciate you stopping in this evening. I am telling you that that Canon fabricated pit Turk is a game changer, man. You know, once you figure out how it burns, how it wants to burn, it is so easy to control. Does not take a whole lot of attention. You know, we all got our different styles of cooking. Some of us like larger sticks. Man, I just put a little small quarter stick in there about every 30 to 40 minutes or so, and I can maintain just about any temperature I want. So I love it, especially for long cooks. But good to have you this evening. Chris L, what's going on, buddy? How are you doing? The head cheese. I am telling you, Chris, man, and we're going to talk about that pig's head because, in my opinion, it is something special. You know, it's not going to be for a lot of people because of what it is. You know, nobody wants to have something looking back at you, something smiling at you. But if you're able to get past that, man, it is something special. And we're going to talk about that in a little bit. There you go, Samantha, on that grind, slinging them rubs. And you know, you're right. It's like it's like crack. It keeps them coming back. Yeah, they got to keep coming back. Yeah, Thyron, I see you've been on your grind, man, making it happen. Drunken Chef, what's happening, buddy? Thanks for stopping in. Let's give the room another minute or so, folks, and we're gonna jump right into this. No real topic today, man. So it's very simple. You bring it and we'll grill it. You bring it, we'll grill it. So whatever you got on your mind, feel free to share. This could be fairly quick, man, and y'all get back to your football game or whatever, or I will go as long as you guys are interested. Carlos, man, I'm pretty much done. Mom and I are pretty much done with competitions, man. We're still thinking we're gonna make it to Uvalde at the end of the year, and that's gonna be our one. But even for that one, I haven't registered yet. But I'm about 95% certain that we're going to go. So if you're gonna be there, good luck. I know you've won it in the past. It'd be nice to bring it home again. Judge is just trying to make it in, man. Trying to make the weekend. Joe from Idaho, what's happening, buddy? Thanks for stopping in. Breaker Dog, man, I am so thrilled. Whenever I see a new name in the chat, I'm absolutely Excited, man. Thank you for stopping in. You and Turk, I'm telling you, we've got an awesome community right here, man. We've got some knowledgeable folks. If you have any questions, man, if I'm not able to help you, they're definitely going to be able to help you. If I'm helping you wrongly, they will definitely steer you in the right direction. So feel free to share openly, man. We absolutely appreciate you guys. Ryan said his pit bull is going to be his taste tester. uh, uh, Brecker, I'm telling you, I'm thrilled to hear that, man. We absolutely appreciate it. I'm deep down, I'm an instructor at heart, man. 21 years in the military and more than 15 years of those 15 years were spent in positions where I instructed, taught, coached, trained. So it's something I feel I do very well, and I definitely try to make that a huge part of all of our videos. You know, 95% of our videos are going to be how-tos, and we definitely want to make them, hopefully, make them as simple as possible, so that anyone out there can replicate them in a positive way. Thank you. Judge, what's going on, Judge? Thank you very much, T, man. I appreciate it, buddy. I appreciate it. Frankie Floyd from Panama City. That is awesome. Thank you for stopping in, Frankie. Samantha says, since you asked, she will be putting cow cheeks and lengua on the grill this weekend for the first time. I have asked around and everybody has their own technique. Can't afford to mess that meat up. Cow cheeks, you pretty much cook like a brisket. You love to get them some smoke first and then finish braising. I've seen where people have put them they've done them confit. After they've gotten the smoke, finish them in oil. But that requires quite a significant amount of beef tallow. But just a little beef stock, maybe some onions and some garlic, and just you cook them, finish them until they're nice and tender. Lengua, I've only done once. I've done beef cheeks twice, so I'm fairly confident with beef cheeks. Lengua, I've done once, and it was an awesome success. But like I mentioned earlier, the lengua, Samantha, I cooked confit. So I cooked it in oil first in a crock pot for about 5 hours. And then when it was nice and tender, man, I pulled it out, took the membrane off, and I put it on my smoker for about 45 minutes. And then over the hot coals just to get a little char. And oh my goodness. So there are different ways, but we've got videos of both the beef cheeks and the lengua on our channel. Just hit us up, and like I said, you're going to be able to follow those videos with some ease. Double D, what's going on? Yeah, Carlos, man, I just kind of misplaced that passion, man. So you won't be seeing much of us. But if you're in Uvalde, we will definitely 95% certain we're going to be there. Al, what's going on, buddy? Good to see you this evening, man. Thank you for stopping in. Hey, a quick salute to all those men and women in uniform today, as well as to those past and our future veterans, man. So awesome move your youngest is making, and that's awesome to hear. We always need good men and women in our military and our armed forces. Let's see. What's up, Tom? What's going on, buddy? What is going on? All is well. You cooking this week, Tom? All right, folks. So we've given them we've given them almost 10 minutes, man. Thank you guys and gals as usual for hanging out with Mama and Papa Joe. We appreciate it. No real topic today. So whatever you bring, man, we'll grill it. This community will grill it. One of the first things I want to hit on, and I believe it was Chris that brought it up, man, was that pig's head. I don't know how many of you have experience with it. I understand it's not something that anybody or everybody wants to do. It could be a little intimidating to some, but if you can get past the squeamishness, like I said in the video, if you can get past the face looking at you, come up with a plan to cook it. There you can go on social media and there you'll see 10 different ways to cook it, man. You can do kind of a mismatch, like I did. Come up with your own plan, and I am here to tell you this is levels above pulled pork from a pork butt. It does not compare. The meat from these cheeks, the meat from the face, from the head is just so tender and juicy. And I think what makes it so tender and juicy that it is surrounded by a pretty thin coat of fat that is just so soft and melted when cooked. Man, it can't help but be juicy. And I'm here to tell you that that salt and sugar brine was perfect. I didn't add any herbs or anything to that salt and sugar brine, man. 24 hours. That meat was well seasoned on the inside, so that brine was very, very effective. And putting it in the oven. Now I could have cranked that Traeger up to some 500 degrees and tried to crisp the skin up that way, but it would definitely take longer to get it crisp on the Traeger than it will in my conventional oven. And by that time, that meat could be overcooked. So I made the decision to toss it in the oven, and that took about 20 minutes. You can't walk away very long. I had the oven at 450. You can't walk away very long because it will burn, especially since that snout is sticking up in the air and you've got so many different levels. Hot spots will deliver, so will develop. So you've got to be there to just rotate that thing maybe every 3 or 4 minutes or so, man, until you're satisfied with the crisp. But that skin was something special. I called some neighbors over the following day after that. After I had stripped all the meat off of the bones, I put the meat in one baggie and I put all the crispy skin in another baggie, refrigerated them. That baggie with the skin, yeah, the skin got soft. But my neighbors both said that they simply heat. One did it in the microwave and brought the crisp back. The other one did it in a conventional oven and brought the crisp back. So definitely something I plan on doing again. Not necessarily on video, been there and done that, but I definitely want to do it again. What I want to do, what I need to learn to do, folks, and I know a lot of you out there have done it, is tamales. I have never made tamales, don't know about it. I am certain I can come up with a recipe, but the spreading of of that masa and some of the other things I'm just not comfortable with just yet. So I'm gonna have to really do some digging, some watching of videos to try to understand that. But at some point, I would love to throw my hat in the tamale ring, so to speak. Tom said he's not cooking Trader's Village. I guess you did two over the last 2 months and just need a break. I can understand that, Tomas. I can definitely understand that. Beauregard. Beauregard. All right, there you go. Beauregard Rippy. Man, we've got some new names tonight. And again, I'm excited. Thank you so much for stopping in. Where are you out of, Beauregard? Where are you out of? Folks, y'all need to check out Double D's. Y'all need to check out Daddy Dutch's new rub. All right. He makes that himself. Makes that himself. So, folks, with the cold weather here, man, with the cold weather here, what are some of your next? For those of you who are content creators, what are some of your next cooks going to be? I'm starting to expect to see some chilies, some soups, or some of those other things that we love during cold weather. I know I'm a fan of chili when it's cold. We always make chili, well, not always. Uh, I've made chili starting last year, so I plan on making it again this year. But things like chicken and dumplings, cold weather, I'm all for it. Gumbo, cold weather, I'm all for it. Do you have any videos planned, content creators, to address the cold weather? Al says the steaming of the tamales really takes away the smoke in the meat as well as the seasoning. So you got to go really hard on that if you want the smoke to stay. All right, that's good to know, Al. That is good to know. And yeah, so you would need a heavy smoke to really maintain some of that smoke in your tamales. Yeah, I can see that. All right, I can see that. So I will have to play around with that. All right, Beauregard is out of Ohio. All right, Beauregard, my wife is from Hamilton, Ohio, right outside of Cincinnati. All right, so y'all are homies. Yeah. Here's to all you homies out there. Beauregard, I went, both my wife and I, we went to college in Xenia, Ohio, outside of Dayton, Central State University, historically black university. Not sure if you've ever heard of that. Buzz says, I've got some buddies who are garnered in the town and used to do live hog heads over open fire every year, then braise them in a huge cauldron. I've eaten it, but never cooked it itself. All right, man, like I said, Buzz, there's a first for everybody. And folks, there's so many different ways to do this. Like Buzz just mentioned, there's a boiling method where you get it pretty tender and you can finish it on your grill or in your smoker if you want to get the smoke flavor. I've seen where people split the head for a shorter cook, and when you split the head, you're better able to fry it to a crisp. And again, instead of 7 hours like it took me on the Traeger, if you split that head, you could probably have that fried, I don't know, maybe a half hour or so, 45 minutes max. But there are just so many ways, like everything we do when it comes to cooking, there are many ways to skin this cat, man. And ultimately, what counts is how well you skin it in the end. Yeah, absolutely. Yes, Buzz, definitely better, man. Definitely different. I'm telling you, it is so much more tender, so much juicier. The flavor is heightened. The flavor is so heightened, and I want to say it has to be because of the fat content in it, or maybe it's because it's surrounded by so much bone. But man, I need to do it again. Yeah, I need to do it again, especially since I have a clear understanding of how to get it done. I'm looking forward to another one. And I did pick up another one just in case Walmart wants to run out of those heads. I've got another. This one is right at 15-pounder sitting in the freezer for whenever. Maybe I'll go crazy and come work on a tamale recipe in the next couple of weeks. I don't know if my first tamale making will be ready for video though. Beef and noodle. Tom said, "Oh, Tom's mom. I've had her. I think I get her tamales at least once a year. All right, mom will be here in a couple of months. She'll do the masa on the corn husk for you. All you have to do is put the meat on them and cook them. Now I'm gonna come to the house, Tom, when she's making them, so I can see exactly what she's doing from scratch. I've got to figure that out. Yeah, Sean, what's going on, brother? Good to see you this evening, man. Thanks for stopping in. I haven't seen you in a little bit. You guys are working too hard. Need to take a little time. Folks, once again, check out Daddy Dutch's new rub, new seasoning. Supposed to be banging. John, no, that question was not only for video creators, man. Anybody, if you've got an interesting cold weather recipe out there, even if you're not, if even if you don't make videos, I would love to hear about it. I'm always looking for inspiration. John says he's itching to turn some chuck into beef stew. Oh man, that Chuck, that's a good one, man. John, that's a good one. Chuck in the beef stew. You know, I've taken a chuck over the last couple of months and I've made pot roast, but I've never done a beef stew. Uh, Traditional way a beef stew is done. You know, a pot roast is very similar to a beef stew, except a beef stew tend to be chunked. But so that could be that's a great idea, John. Thank you much for that one. As a matter of fact, I also have a beautiful chuck roast in the freezer as we speak. All right, but I was looking more into chili for that one. But yes, a beef stew could get it done. He loves a good slow cooked beef stew, and also doing 12 butts for a wedding this weekend. Wow, that's a lot of butt. That's a lot of butt. Not something you'll hear me say too often. Ah, yes, sir. Yeah, Sean. Like I said, man, that head, those eyes, that face staring at you is not for everybody. But if you're able to get past that, I am here to tell you, you're going to be in for a delicious treat. And man, that 14 pound, 14 and a half pound head yield about almost 3 good pounds of meat. All right, just under 3 good pounds of meat. And that's not counting all the crispy skin that I saved. And I don't have any more meat left. Gave all that away, but I still got a little skin that I may be looking at putting in a pot of pinto beans at some point. So definitely, you ever get the chance, don't shy away from it. I mean, it's a piece of meat. It's not going to get any cheaper than 97 cents per pound. Yeah. You can ask your butcher to split it for you if you don't want to cook the whole thing the way I did. What's happening, Stephen? Good to see you. And folks, as we talk about parts of the pig that you may not be comfortable with, again, most of you here know that I'm from Belize, Central America. And man, a couple of times a month, I remember my mom uh, stewing pigtails. And I bring up pigtails because Steven dropped a pigtail video this week that was off the chart good. Off the chart good. However, the only way I remember pigtails is the way my mom cooked them, and she always stewed them. But I'm here to tell you, Stephen did something different with those pigtails that gave me inspiration. And I haven't gone yet to my Asian market to see if it's on hand. But if I'm able to find it at my Asian market, I'm going to do something. I'm going to do it 2 ways. I'm going to stew a batch, and then I'm going to do a batch the way Steven did. If you have not seen Steven's pigtail videos, folks, go check it out. And don't turn your nose up at pigtails. It's just, again, we know about that pig from the rooter to the tutor, man. We eat it all. Uh, I'm telling you, those look so delicious. I'm not going to tell you how he cooked it and whatnot. You go check it out for yourself. One of you in the chat, one of the mods in the chat, drop Steven's link somewhere. I want y'all to go check that video out. All right, I got you, Buzz Farmers. There, I got you. Tom, there was the 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 snout, because it was up so high in that oven, kind of got a hard crust on it. So I didn't try tasting that. Trooper loved it. Trooper loved the ears and of course the snout. So I've been chopping those up, mixing them in with his dry dog food, and he's been in hog heaven. Yeah, he's been in hog heaven. But I did not mess with the eyes. I did not mess with the brain. nor the snout. The ears definitely are a dog's treat. How did the snout taste? The snout was tasting you. Horner, thank you for stopping in. Another new name. Love it, love it, love it. Horner, man, I'm telling you, over the last year and a half, I have become a huge fan of chuck roast. And with YouTube and our videos, we've done them a number of ways. We've cooked them like a brisket, smoked them. We've made we've braised them and made tacos. We've made a we've done a chuck roast stew. How else have we done it? Oh, I've cooked them like steaks. And all these are videos. I am here to tell you folks, and I get there are a couple of folks that video is going on 500,000 views. The chuck roast like a steak is going on 500,000 views. I think it's like 480 something thousand views, going on 500,000. And every once in a while, I'll get one person says that it's impossible to cook a chuck roast like a steak. Those videos don't lie. Granted, I like my steaks a little more rare than the average person. So there's always somebody crying, "It's still bleeding. It's still bleeding." But you cook your steaks how you like it. A chuck roast, when you get the right chuck roast, you can't get one of those big 5 pound chuck roasts, that's 4 inches thick and try to cook it like a steak. It's not going to work. So you've got to get a chuck roast that's cut a little thinner. Uh, uh, for me, 2 inches is perfect. You've got to make sure it's got the right amount of marbling. And then you treat it accordingly. A dry brine overnight. And then you reverse sear it. I'm here to tell you that chuck roast will give you there's probably 6 different muscles in a chuck roast, but some of those muscles are going to chew exactly like a basic ribeye. Others are going to have more of a chew like a flat iron steak or something like that. And then there's going to be one towards the very edge that is going to be a chuck roast tough. But 85 to 90% of that chuck roast is going to be a nice, delicious chew. So, Hunter, we've probably got chuck roast cooked on our channel 5 or 6 different ways. Yeah, I did no such thing. If it wasn't so hot, I might have. Yeah, but those lips were smoking when when they came out of that oven. What's up, TM? How are you doing this evening, buddy? Thanks for stopping in. Let's see, let's see, let's see. Let me make sure I don't fall too far behind, man. I get to run in my mouth. Let me make sure. All right, John Doe. Here we go. Man, I am loving these new names in the chat. I am loving these new names in the chat. John says the first time he pulled some cheek meat off of a whole hog, he fell in love. Oh my goodness. When I cut through that crispy skin, John, and I saw what the meat underneath looked like, I was in hog heaven. Yeah, I was in hog heaven. It was like the most tender of pork bellies. Yeah, it was like the most tender of pork bellies. It was long and stringy, man, and delicious. Yeah, you almost don't have to chew it. So true. All right, John says he used Myron Mixon's hog injection recipe, and he sprays the hog with it throughout the cook. Okay, awesome. Good to know. November 9th is National Scrapple Day. That's another meat, man, that gets a bad rap that is absolutely delicious. And for those of you who may not know what scrapple is, it's whatever's left over that's tossed together, into some sort of what would you call it? Into some sort of terrine or a pate, and then can be fried to an exterior crisp. So it tends to be more of a breakfast uh, dish, scrappling eggs, but the exterior gets so crispy and the interior just so soft, creamy, and delicious. So yes, Borgard, I am a fan of scrapple. Thomas Smith, what is going on, buddy? Thanks for stopping in. Ah, man, that beer is good. Buzz, man, I think I might be able to find it in certain markets, but because I haven't been looking for it, I don't know. I just know that it's not on restaurant menus. And most of the time, when I do get scrapple, we're on the road when we stop at some country restaurant for breakfast or something like that. But in your traditional everyday chain restaurants, you're not gonna find something like that. Yeah, you're not gonna find that. Steven says, remember the pigtails have salt. Yeah, yeah. So similar taste to cured ham. Stephen, man, I remember, going to the store. My mom would give me a couple of Belizean dollars, and I'd go to the store to get a couple of pounds of pigtails. And I remember the storekeeper going into that 5 gallon bucket with that heavily brined water, that salted water, pulling those pigtails out of there, putting them in a plastic bag, and sending me on my way. And yes, my mom would soak those pigtails overnight to remove some of that salt. So yeah, I remember it having that pink color, from the cure. But man, so delicious. And like I said, yours look absolutely beautiful. Yeah, looked absolutely beautiful. There you go, Troy. Here's a another one that is not a believer. When people on in the comments said that it can't be done, I said people who say it can't be done never do it. You know, don't tell me it can't be done unless you've done it. And then in that case, you couldn't do it. You know, so folks, don't say it can't be done. You just got to figure out a way. But yes, it can be done. Uh, 95% of the people uh, are very positive about that chuck roast like a steak. Some of them have been doing it prior to any video of mine, and some of them have started doing it since, all with positive results. So, yes, it can be done. But like I said, you need to have the right steak, man. You got to make sure it's got some nice marbling and it's not overly thick. Buzz, those are all my cold weather dishes right there, man. Like I said, I know I've got some chili, not necessarily videos coming, but I definitely be making a pot of chili. Love that. Hey, Steven, drop your channel in here. I want some people to go check out that video. Let's see, where are we? Buzz, I did a smoked chicken and dumpling video, man. That's absolutely delicious too. You smoke that chicken first, and then you can finish it in the on the stove, or you can continue cooking it on the grill if you want to waste the fuel. But definitely delicious. Hey, you know how on a chicken, Daddy D, on that chicken you've got that little oyster that is so tender, delicious, always moist. Well, the pig has that. And I want to say it might be that temple meat that you speak of. But the pig has two of those, but they're twice the size of that chicken oyster. And I'm telling you, man, when I found those and I plucked them out of there, it was simply amazing. Yeah, simply amazing. So, yes, a pig has two oysters, if that's what you want to call them. NBL, what's going on, buddy? Great to see you this evening. Yes, I remember you saying that last night. And okay, good. You've seen Steven's pigtails. That's awesome. I'm here to tell you, I am going to do them exactly like Steven did. Uh, we've got a pressure cooker somewhere that we haven't used in, I don't know, 5, 10 years. Might have to blow the dust off of that to shorten that cook time. I like that, Steven. Buzz, way back in the days, man, Mama and I used to do chitlins every towards the end of the year for like New Year's. And I don't know, maybe 15 years ago, we stopped messing with them. You know, you can buy those a bucket of the pre-clean chitlins, and I say pre-clean because you still got to go through there and 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 flush the dust out of those things. You know, to get them as clean as you want. But yeah, Mom and I will eat some chitlins when they're cooked right. And of course, we've got to trust the individual doing the cooking because we know some people prefer a higher dookie level than others, if you know what I mean. He said dookie level. Ryan asks, has anyone on here ever had turtle stew? He makes a good one. Ryan, I have never had turtle stew that I can remember, but I know growing up, we used to get turtle eggs on the regular, and when you could cook them in a stew, they come in a little leathery shell, uh, and you can cook them in a stew, but then you get that soft shell, and it seemed like they're a chicken egg might be what 60% white and 40% yolk, something like that, a chicken egg. Well, I think a turtle egg is like the opposite. There's more yolk because when you crack, when not crack, but when you peel that leathery shell opens, there's nothing but yolk in there, and it's delicious. So that's as close as I come to having turtle. The thing that turns me off about turtle is every time I see it cook, Ryan, it's got the skin on. And I would much rather have my turtle. If I'm going to eat some, I would much rather have my turtle meat showing as opposed to the skin because the skin does not look appetizing. You know what I mean? So I'm definitely not turning my nose up against turtle. I'm turning my nose up against that skin. That dark skin, that black skin, gray skin, whatever color you want to call it, just does not look appetizing on a plate or in a pot. Remove that skin. I know it might be some work, but if you pull that skin off and just show me a little turtle meat, I would be more than inclined to enjoy. I've said it in the past. I'm a very adventurous eater, and there isn't much that I will refuse to try. Big D said scrapple, one of his favorite breakfasts. I can totally understand that. I have seen machitos made. I have never made them myself. I have never tried them. I know my buddy right here in the chat, Tom Fuentes, says that they've got kind of a raunchy taste. And for those of you who may not know it, machitos uh, is some of the lamb meat or uh, other parts of the lamb that are formed into a bit of a log, and then the intestines are wrapped around that log of meat or whatever it might be. Al, please correct me if I'm wrong. So I have never had the opportunity to eat it, and again, I would definitely try it. Even though Tom says that it's not for everybody, I would give it a shot. All right, Big D, we got a one of my former college coaches, man, that live in Delaware. We were supposed to visit him this year until Trooper, our pooch, tore up his knee, and we had to stay at home and nurse him back to health. But I Scrapple will definitely be on the breakfast menu with Delaware. John said he had turtle stew, and it tasted a little like vegetable beef stew to him. Ryan is putting beef stock in his. NBL, your package is shipping, Daddy D says. Yeah. It's kind of a grayish black, man. Yeah. It's kind of a grayish black. Later, Tom. Oh, it's halftime. Yeah, it is halftime. Now, Steven, I've had iguana again with the skin off because you are absolutely correct. I do not want to see iguana on my plate with that green or that orange or that yellow skin on. Yeah, especially when you can see the scales. And if you've never been up close and personal with an iguana or a turtle, they've got scales on them. So again, I think that's what kind of turns me off. I do not want to see it on the plate. Remove that and show me that little pink piece of meat or whatever the case might be, and I will definitely get down. Yeah, it is not appetizing when you leave that skin on. All right, Tom said he's had beef machitos and he did not like them. Yeah, he did not like them. All right, so I will look for an opportunity to try those, man. I haven't had it yet. Yeah, I have not had it yet. Hey, so recently, folks, I have been again, I'm always planning my videos far out. At least trying to come up with ideas. Uh we recently did a no wrap video. So what I'm looking for now is to do kind of a direct heat brisket. How many of you have cooked a brisket just using direct heat? No deflector, no offset, uh, just directly over the coals. And I don't care. I don't care how far from your coals your brisket is. As long as there's nothing in between, uh, I am considering that. I'll call that a direct heat cook. How many of you have done a direct heat cook? And what were some things you learned from that cook? Anybody? Your turtle, Tom says his turtle does not have scale. That's probably because it never comes out of the shell. The head is always tucked in. So you don't know. That's called shrinkage. Well, Double D, I don't want any turtle or iguana vitamins because I'm not gonna mess with that skin. Tom, you are mental. So nobody out there has done a direct cook, a direct heat brisket. So what you're telling me is I'm on my own. I'll have to figure it out. Yeah, I'll definitely do that. Yeah, I will definitely do that. All right. Tom, you're stupid, man. Yeah, you're stupid. Ah. All right. Josh said he's cooked a brisket on his WSM without a water pan. And actually it was his first brisket he's ever cooked. He got lucky and it turned out great. Yeah, I was debating Josh doing mine on either the WSM or my Brooks drum. I would love to do it on a Brooks drum because, man, I think the drum brings a different type of flavor that would be interesting with the brisket juices hitting that coals on the bottom and bouncing back up. I can kind of foresee a bit of a steak flavor to this brisket. I would definitely leave a lot more fat on it. And instead of fat up on my drum, I'll definitely go fat side down. And a cook like this might be one of the first, will be the first cook where I flip a brisket during the cook. I've never done that ever. And I could see some benefits of flipping that brisket uh, uh, at least once during the cook. I might leave the meat side down for maybe an hour or so, and the rest of the time it'll be fat side down. But I would definitely look. I'm looking forward to that cook whenever that time comes. Sean said he did it, and it took 4.5 hours. The smoke was light, but it came out great. Yeah, I am definitely anticipating less smoke, much less of a smoke ring, and and because that bark should get pretty crisp, I think this is one of those cooks where, like the no wrap brisket, it'll benefit from from a longer rest to bring that bark back down to something nice and soft. So I am working on a plan, and good to hear some of this info from you guys. Josh says, "Oh man, Josh, people have been winning comps on those drums for years, man. Yeah, they've really come up. They used to call them ugly drum smokers. Now they call them money making smokers. Yes, sir. Yeah, I can totally agree with that, John. I think you just make sure you're checking on it a little bit more. Have a great thermometer. Yeah, and flipping is definitely not a bad idea. Yeah, I can definitely see that. But like I said, this I would leave quite a bit more fat. I might not expose much of the point like I normally do. I think that would be very helpful. All right, here's some good info. Big D says he watched a video recently, and the guy said that offset smokers were invented in the 80s. And until then, all of barbecue was pretty much done over direct heat. Uh, I uh, I don't know how true that is, because I've seen some still pictures, Power Stack, seen some still pictures where they were doing, well, I don't want to call it offset cooking or indirect, but where they've got the meat leaning on these sticks, on these poles away from the fire. I don't know that that's direct, and I don't know that that's indirect. But way back when, they used to do a lot of barbecuing using that method of cooking, and that's sort of like a cross between the two. But I'm not sure. But yeah, offset smokers are something fairly new. When I say fairly new, but definitely within the last 50, 60 years. John is asking, when you do racks of chickens on block pits, do you flip them and spray them a lot? Yeah, if you're going to be cooking a lot of birds, man, over direct fire, uh, you know, based on how close your fire is, you may not have to flip very often. But one of the things you will want to do is to spray, or mop. If mopping is your thing, spraying is my thing. If mopping is your thing, then you're definitely going to want to mop them quite a bit. Oh, absolutely, Tom. I would love to do that direct heat brisket, man. Wrap just like I did with that no wrap brisket in paper when it's finished, and then put it in the warmer that way. Bring that bark back down into something soft and finish rendering, finish jellifying that interior fat. So that video is going to come. Not sure when, but it's going to come. And I'm probably going to use something like a Walmart brisket. We'll see. Yeah, we will see. All right. I don't know if halftime is over, folks, but we're going to shut this one down, man. I appreciate you guys and gals as usual. Go check out Stephen and Jacqueline cooking. You're going to want to see that pigtail video. And you're going to want to find some videos of you're going to want to find some pigtails of your own. So thank you, guys and gals, once again, man, for hanging out. A little quick one with Mom and Papa Joe. We, as usual, we appreciate it. Be on the lookout for another video coming very soon. And I'm thinking, based on what's going on this week, we might even do an impromptu live cook, either on Facebook or maybe here on YouTube, man. But in the meantime, Mom and I want you guys to finish your last day of work. Enjoy your weekend. Look out for each other, and Mom and I will see you when we see you. You guys take care. Thank you much, Swifty. Thank you very much. Have a good one, John. Later, Ryan. My man, Steven, thank you. NBL, stay good, baby. Stay good.